My name is Jeremy Brinkerhoff. I'm proud to serve as the chaplain for the Prescott Fire Department, and I'd just like to welcome you to today's ceremony. It is so important to celebrate these kinds of milestones in our lives, and it's an awesome thing that all of you have come out to not only celebrate, but to support your loved ones, to support the department. So thank you so much for doing that. I'd like to take a moment to recognize our dignitaries with us today. Mayor Phil Good, thank you so much for being here. And we have our city manager, down in Kimball. Thank you so much for being here. And also our deputy city manager, Michael Morris. Thank you so much for being in attendance. And also our friends at Prescott PD. I think I saw some of them out there as well. But thank you for just showing support. It's an awesome thing when across departments we can come together and celebrate each other's wins. So if you would, please, would you stand for the posting of colors and the Pledge of Allegiance?
Post colors. Ready, drop. Honor God, all uniformed personnel, present arms. Order, arms. Ready, face. Forward, march.
Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Would you now join me in a word of prayer? Father, we thank you for this beautiful day that we get to celebrate here in Prescott, Arizona. And God, I thank you so much for the dedication, the hard work, and the sacrifice of those that we are here to honor today. And Lord, I pray that you would go before them in their new duties. Would you give them wisdom? And we just are grateful that we get to celebrate their achievements in these next few moments. In your name we pray. Amen. I would like to invite you to sit. And I'd like to also invite our Fire Chief, Holger Durf, to the podium.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is such an amazing day for a lot of reasons that I'm going to get into, and I'm sure the mayor will likely also share a few thoughts. Today is a promotional ceremony, absolutely. There's no doubt about that. And there is a lot of excitement and hard work. So the first thing I want to say is to the families that are in the room, we recognize the sacrifice that your loved one made, whether they were in the fire academy, studying a promotional exam, or for one of our newest members moving from out of state to be with us. That is not easy to do. And on my behalf, thank you to all the families. It does not work without your support. The other part why today is special is that today is the first promotions that are related to Station 76 and the money that the voter-approved 478 initiative made possible. We are not resting. Now, the part that I want to mention here, though, is the turning point for this department is significant. This organization has needed these resources to help our community for a very, very long time. And so today is that first formal step that we're taking in that direction to make due on our promise to improve response times, increase the service level that we have in this community. And these folks are part of that mission. That is pretty phenomenal. And with that, I want to thank the voters and our elected officials for the amazing support that they have given and the guidance that we've received from our city management staff, because it has been a huge team lift. This has been not just this fire department administration that made this possible. Many of the folks that wore my uniform that went before me advocated the way that I have, and it is finally time for us to be able to respond to that need. So with that, to all the community that's listening, thank you. Really quickly, I'm going to address a few things for the folks that are in the audience. Some of this, if you've gone to one of these ceremonies before, you may have heard me say before, but it bears repeating. And I'll go a little bit by rank order, starting with the firefighters. So for the firefighters, for all of you that don't know this, they were actually already pinned and formally welcomed in the organization in late December when they graduated from the Fire Academy. And we had a great ceremony jointly with Central Arizona Fire and Medical Authority at that time. And they raised their right hand and we swore them in. So we're not going to make them do that again because our oath is extraordinarily long. And I'm not going to make them do that. That's just not fair. And one of the reasons is because they are amazing additions to our fire department. I can't tell you already in the short time that they've been with us on the floor, I've heard nothing but good things. But even more importantly, this was the first joint fire academy that we did with Central Arizona Fire and Medical Authority. And while our organizations are extremely close, we are not the same. And they distinguished themselves repeatedly in that fire academy and made the city of Prescott extremely proud. They were the first ones to help. They were the last ones to clean up. And they were leaders in their classes. And that is something that's not an accident. And that's because when we do our selection process for finding folks to join our team, we look for values. We look for character. We look for integrity. And they've displayed that, and then they put it into action. And from me to you, once again, I can't thank you enough. I will repeat one thing that I told you that night in December. Never let the identity of this job get in the way of you as a human being. Always remember, husband, father, son, those come first. They will always come first. And at the end of this career, when it's time to look back, it's that family that you're actually living with, hopefully more than half the time, they're the ones that are going to be there, and they're the ones that you have to be there for throughout the career. I say this because I'm an example of having to learn that lesson. And so please, don't do what I did in this regard. Do what I'm hopefully doing better now, and don't ever lose sight of your family. That's so important. Now, let's move on to our engineers. We had a great turnout for our engineers test, and these two folks are actually going to exhaust our list, and that's a really good problem. As a fire chief, I hate seeing lists die, because when these folks prepare, an engineer, by the way, if you don't know, is the hardest test on the fire department, and I'm not kidding you. It is such an amount of work to even get placed on that list. And I know one individual here has worked extraordinarily hard, and I can't tell you how proud I am because several times it had to be a test. His cohort worked just as hard as a younger member of our department, and they both shined. And to be able to have these folks step into these roles is so important. Now, let's talk about the role of engineer. And I had one-on-ones with them when we made it official and told them they were getting promoted. They're both great examples of a position that is the caretaker. It's the second in command in many ways on our fire companies. They are assuming, even though they're not a formal leadership position, they are assuming a role of leadership on those companies. And they are both ready to serve in those roles. The other thing that they've shown is perseverance, hard work, and the ability to remember an insane amount of formulas, an insane amount of mathematics, and an insane amount of reading, which is one of the reasons why the engineer's test is so difficult. Because not only do they have to have book knowledge and be able to present that under pressure, they also then have to go out and be able to actually operate on the drill ground. It is one of the positions that makes sure that our firefighters come home at the end of the day, because they know when that crew is inside in an IDLH environment, they're the lifeline. And we don't just hand out this responsibility, which is why that test is so extraordinarily hard. You both have more than met that mark. You have exceeded those expectations, and I cannot wait to watch both of you grow in that role of engineer. You've both been acting in those roles. You know how to do the job. I've told you this in the interview. I have full faith and confidence in you. You don't have to prove it to me, at least. You guys are there. I'm just really looking forward to seeing you really blossom into those respective roles. All right, moving on to our captain. And we'll obviously honor these folks here in a second. The captain's role is the last level of supervision in the fire department that has direct supervision over our employees. Once you get to battalion chief, you're leading and supervising through others, which is a talent in and of itself. But the reason why I mention that is that the company officer is the one person that is most directly responsible for the culture, the morale, and all of the things that make a fire department so special. I can tell you right now, I am not that special. I am not the guy that makes that happen. I'm the one that gets out of their way and provides them a vision to make that happen. It's the captains that pull that off every single day. And with Nate, we've got a wonderful leader stepping into that role. And for many reasons, especially the fact that you are a multi-generational member of this Prescott Fire Department, the fact that you are the first captain we're promoting to that new engine company, that is pretty darn cool. That was not by design, I promise you, at least not by mine, and just couldn't be any happier. So finally, to our fire marshal, our division chief, the person that we've waited for a very, very long time. This fire department in the 2008 recession, just like all the other city departments, was hit pretty significantly. And one of the positions that we have struggled now since that time to replace is our fire marshal position. For us as a fire department, community risk management is more important, I think, than in many other fire departments. It's important everywhere else. But the fact that we have a significant wildfire risk, the fact that we have an extremely growing community, although we have a wonderfully talented operations division, there are some issues that we have to be strategic and mitigate before the problem ever starts. And Prescott is such a great example of making sure that we invest into proactive risk mitigation, risk management. We were fortunate. We were able to get a fire marshal from Colorado to dispel any rumors. We did not actually know each other when this happened. It just happened to be that we're both from Colorado. But he came from a fire department at the south end of the state and is an extremely talented code professional. This is not just a fire marshal, this is a leader. And he's joined our senior leadership team, and he's already had a significant impact on helping us with setting the tone of where we want to go as an organization. For those of you that know me, I am a very dynamic, very maybe fast-moving leader, is fair to say. I see rolling eyes from my senior leadership team right now. And even though I demand a lot, he is not only able to keep up, I've already valued him as well as somebody that I can work with and get some ideas from as well. So that is exactly what I expect from my senior leaders, is that it's a two-way relationship, and I'm so glad you're here. I hope your wife is watching online. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate it. With that, I think it is time for some badge pinning, but before we do that, even though I don't like putting you on the spot, but because we're in that 478 spot, I feel it's important that I give the mayor a chance just to address that component, because it is a big deal.
Well, being at these promotion ceremonies, I think, is one of the really fun things about being the mayor of the city. I think everyone realizes how much support I have for our fire department and our police department and our other first responders. But this is a particularly eventful ceremony today, because we're seeing the first practical results of our Proposition 478 approval by the voters of the city. And people are just saying, well, you guys are so advanced in your thinking, especially when you consider the apocalyptic conditions over in California, where here you have a community, whether it's a state or a city, that didn't take the steps necessary to be prepared for these types of cataclysmic events, and having our voters realize that we need to have more resources prepared for what might happen in the future, rather than just reacting to crises. which is usually what politicians do. You know, they wait for a crisis to happen and then they finally get off their tush, if you know what I mean. So in this case, our voters realized that we needed to really catch up in a lot of decisions that were delayed over the last decades, and now be prepared to have the resources so that we can respond effectively and keep our citizens safe. So you're seeing today the first practical applications of that, some of the promotions and hiring that are going to be allocated to these new fire stations. And I think we've got a couple of engines already on order, and we're very close to finalizing the locations for these new fire stations to be built. And now people are saying, come on, Mayor, can't you get this done faster? Well, we're moving as fast as we can. I'm willing to volunteer to wrench a couple of bumpers on these engines if needed to get them done faster, but we'll see how that works. So I couldn't be more pleased with being able to honor and promote and expand our firefighting crew. And then as we prepare to take the steps necessary to not only build these fire stations, but staff them and have the right equipment, being able to have your turnouts done and be able to effectively clean those turnouts so that you're as safe as you possibly can is what we should have done years ago, but we're doing it now. So I couldn't be more pleased, and as you can see, it is Casual Friday for me. I mean, I could have put a badge on, but my gosh, we got enough badges in this room already to just about blind me. So let's go ahead and proceed, and congratulations to everyone, and congratulations to all the families that are supporting these great new and promoted firefighters as your career expands. You know, there's a lot to be said for the family supporting you guys when you're out on deployment. So with that said, let's proceed. Thank you.
One other quick heads up to Hannah. You're not overlooked. I'm just giving you a little bit of advance warning. There she is. You'll be honored, trust me. We're going to make sure. All right. First up, Anthony Valdez, Division Chief, Fire Marshal. Why don't you join us up here?
Oh. Well, that was very unexpected. Well, thank you, everybody. It is definitely an honor. Yeah, I'll get you for this one. Definitely an honor to be here. It's a yeah, I don't know what to say. Thanks, Chief. Other than it is an honor. The last 7 weeks have been way more than I could have expected. You all have welcomed me with open arms. You all have, it's like I've been here for 30 years, and I really appreciate it. Everyone has been just an amazing to me and amazing, caring about my well-being and checking in on me. Every time the fire crews are in admin, they all stop by and say hi and shake my hand, and that's an amazing culture, especially for those of you that are coming into this organization that you don't find everywhere in the fire service, unfortunately. And so I'm really, really grateful for everyone and this opportunity, and thank you. And this opportunity to speak unexpectedly.
We were talking about flexing into our uncomfortable spots, and he passed the test with flying colors. With that, just so you guys know, I'm not going to make you talk. Don't worry. But without further ado, Captain Nate Malm. All right. Moments here. Engineer Phil Bizook. Engineer Caden Dugan. All right. The Intrepid 2024-2. Why don't you come up here and just join me for a second? I won't make you speak either, I promise. Just come on up. All right. As I mentioned, these gentlemen graduated from the Recruit Fire Academy in December and have since joined us online. I just want to present them formally to us as the Prescott family, as they're now members of our little tribe, and they've all already fit in extremely well. So with that, we're going to make this really short because they are currently extraordinarily uncomfortable. So if I could ask you all for a round of applause for our new members of the fire department. All right. Oh, yes. Okay, this is also a special ceremony because today we get to recognize the promotion for somebody that's actually been promoted for just a hot minute. And that is Hannah Hickman, a member of our administrative team. She is our administrative coordinator. She's also known far and wide as my wrangler, or she who tries to keep track of me. She's only lost me, I think, 2 or 3 times so far. Matter of fact, just the other day, I got carried away in my office, and literally she came in, gave me a look, and I said, "You left me unsupervised?" But Hannah, why don't you join us up here, because I want to just formally recognize you and welcome you officially to your new rank and say a couple of things about not just you, but your entire team. So, yeah. As you can tell, she also craves the spotlight. So first of all, let's talk a little bit about her boss, Lori Burkeen, who is our administrative supervisor. And approximately a year ago, we embarked on a complete restructure of our administrative services. And it was extremely important for a lot of reasons. One of them is that currently still, but a little bit less, our firefighters do a tremendous amount of work while they're on duty that is usually done in other fire departments by either administrative staff or 40-hour chief officers. And so with that, I just want to acknowledge our firefighters in the room, all of them. I'm kind of looking around. There's not a single one of them that I'm currently looking at that does not carry some kind of program. And that is both a unique thing for our fire department, but also at the same time, it's extremely important that we recognize that because their main job is to respond to emergencies. And so with that, we now have an administrative team, including Tina Heaton, Kristen Qualley, where are you? There she is. And then Sierra could not be with us right now. That is absolutely vital in making this fire department go around. Now, with that, Hannah is in this position where basically she's teaming up with Lori to lead this administrative team to greater efficiency. And you have to understand, especially in our uniformed ranks, I'll say this again, we're not that special. We are important, but the people that really make a fire department and a police department, for that matter, go around are the civilians that are in the background, and they're making those things happen every day. I couldn't be prouder of Hannah. She came to our organization, didn't quite know what she was getting into because the treadmill was moving 1,000 miles an hour, and I was pushing the button faster and faster. And she has done nothing but keep up with the pace as well as the rest of the team. So to all of you, thank you for everything that you've done. I could go on and on and on and on. As you can tell, I'm immensely proud of all of you, and I'm immensely proud of you, Hannah, for what you've been able to accomplish in your very short but very effective time here at Prescott Fire. Congratulations. Like I said, she craves a spotlight. All right, with that, that brings us to the end of our ceremony. Just to close out, I just want to thank all of you for being here. Oh, wait, what am I forgetting? Oh, Tina, my gosh, I am so sorry. You're absolutely right. Yes, thank you so much. Tina Heaton, what am I doing? Get up here. Yes. Thank you. It takes a village to keep our fire chief in line. So Tina came to us as well as our newest member. She is the face and the voice of Prescott Fire. When somebody comes to our front counter or the phone gets picked up, it's Tina on the other end of the line. Now, what that means, right, is that our public image rests with her. Trust me when I say this, our public image is in extremely good hands. She's also one of the most organized individuals I've ever been around, which is absolutely phenomenal. She's done so many things in just, how many months? 3, 4 months? Yeah. right around there. And she's revolutionized the way that we can do things because that front counter is busy. Just like in the police department and community development, that is a hub of activity. You can imagine what happens when there's a little smoke on the hill. The phone starts ringing off the hook, not just a dispatch, but also at her desk. And a lot of times she doesn't have a window to the outside and she's like, what's going on? But she doesn't show that, of course. But with that, I am so happy you've chosen to make this part of your extended family. You fit right in. The thing that I told her actually after her first week, it seems like you've been here for 6 months. And I mean that. She really just fits right in, and that is so important in our department. So welcome, Tina. All right, with that, thank you again, especially to all the family that are here. One of the things that makes this department so special is the fact that this is truly something that we celebrate together. It is a community. It is a community of, not just family members, but extended family members. There's many members of City of Prescott departments here, human resources, the police department. I can't tell you just how much that makes a difference. When you're from the outside like myself, Chief Knapp and Chief Valdez, we notice it. But for those of us that have been at Prescott Fire, sometimes it just goes unnoticed because that's the way we've always done it. I'm here to tell you once again, it's not like that in the rest of the world. Our job is to keep it that way. And I'm pretty sure you guys are going to pull that off. So with that, please, by all means, come take pictures, congratulate our new awardees, our new promotees, and drive safely home. Thank you.
Chiefs.